Okay, question 36. Karen conducted an experiment using two similar plants. She removed an outer ring from the stem of one of the plants as shown in the diagram below. The food carrying tubes were removed, but the water carrying tubes remain in the stem. So, if you have the water carrying tube still remaining in there, that means the water can still go up, right? The water from the ground can still move up to the leaves, right? Water, remember, water carrying tube transports water from the roots to the leaves. So all the leaves, right, will still be receiving water. Okay, so make sure the water from the roots will all be uh, transported to the leaves, so the leaves can still make food. Okay, but the food carrying tubes are removed. So when the food carrying tubes are removed, that means the food from the leaves cannot be transported down. Okay, so the food from the leaves gets down, is transported to the stem, and then it tries to go down to the root, but it gets stuck, right? It gets stuck there. From the leaves, it gets stuck at the place where it is cut. Okay, so because it's stuck there, the food has to go somewhere, right? So the food will sometimes cause a bulge here, right? As you know, in many other questions, the food will be stored here. That's one way. If there are fruits here, the food will also be diverted to the fruits now. All right. So you can see that after some time, the two plants produce fruits as shown below. So as you can see, right, the food not able to go anywhere else, not able to go to the roots. It is diverted to the fruit. So there are more fruits. Whereas here there is still food going in, but the food is not as much as the one where the tubes were cut. Okay, so there are more sugar that is pumped into these fruits here as compared to some of the fruits here. Only a bit of the sugar goes, because the rest of the sugar is pumped to the roots. Okay, so with that explanation, let's look. Karen observed that the plant with the food carrying tubes removed produced bigger fruits. Okay, so I've explained to you why, right? So all we have to do now is to answer why. Okay, so food from the leaves. You must say food from the leaves. Okay, cannot be transported. Okay, down to the cut stem, right? To the part of the cannot be transported to the part below the cut stem. Okay, alright, so that's the first part of the answer. Alright, and therefore, if food from the leaves cannot be transported to the part below the stem, more food, right? More food from the leaves was transported to uh, transported and stored, right? To the fruits, isn't it? Transported to the fruits to be stored. Okay, to be stored there, right? Therefore, more producing what? Uh, 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 stored there. Therefore, producing bigger, right? What do you call that? Bigger fruits or more fruits, right? Or bigger fruits, depending on what the question says. Okay. All right. Fruits more or bigger fruits. All right. More fruits producing bigger fruits. Okay. More and bigger fruits. Okay. So this is an explained question. So what is the claim? The claim is actually inside. Okay, explain clearly why bigger fruits were produced. This is the claim. Okay. What is the evidence? The evidence is that it's cut, isn't it? So once it is cut, okay, this is the whole evidence, right? So what is the so what, right? So what? So if this is the evidence, you know, give me a reason why you use that as your uh, as your evidence. Alright, so this is your reasoning. Okay, so more food was transported to food, therefore producing more bigger food. Okay, so what is the compare then, right? So you can see more. So this is a compare, right? More food was transported to be stored there. That's really producing more, right? Okay, so as you can see, this is the answer for question part A. Let's look at question part B. After some time, the plant was with the cut stem died. Of course, right? Okay, you can see that the part here, this part will die. Why? Because when there are no food given to the roots will eventually die. Okay, so the roots will eventually die because this part here doesn't receive any food. If it doesn't receive any food, it means all living things need air, food, and water. So the cells here also need food, but it doesn't have any leaves to supply it, and therefore it will die. Okay, so what is the answer then? Okay, so again, all you have to do is just put it in sentence. Remember, this is a 2-mark question, and they're asking you to explain. Okay, so you must say clearly, okay, that the food from the leaves, right? Food from the leaves cannot be transported to the roots, okay, to the roots of the plant. Okay, and this is a very serious issue. Why? Because the roots, right? The roots will not be able to survive, isn't it? Will not be able to survive. Okay, and absorb the root. You can also say the root cells, right? The roots or the root cells will not be able to survive, right? And the roots will not be able to absorb water, isn't it? Not be able to absorb water for the plant, and therefore the plant will die, right? And the plant, right? The plant, or I can also say without water, the plant will die. Okay, will eventually die. Full stop. Okay, so very easy. Food from the leaves. Cannot be transported to the roots of the plant. The root cells will not be able to survive, and the roots will not be able to absorb the water for the plants. Without water, the plant will eventually die. Okay. So what is the claim? The claim is after some time. This is the claim. I'm going to show you. Okay, this is the claim. So you don't have to write it down, isn't it? Even though we write the end. Alright. Okay. So what is the evidence? The evidence comes from scientific facts, isn't it? Okay. So after you've written all this, all the evidence. After that, what is the what do you call that? What is the reason then, right? So the reason is without water. Oh, sorry, what's happening? Without water, the water plant eventually dies. So that's 2 full marks video. Can? Okay, so it's a very easy question. It's a very common question. Okay, they can change the plants. They can change where they cut the stem. But eventually, the answer is very easy. All you know that without food, cells will die. Without water, they cannot photosynthesize. And they cannot bring the food down to the roots. They will have to store it somewhere, either bulging the part where it's cut, or bulging the other parts of the plant, which in this case is the fruit. Okay, so with that, I think it's quite easy. Just please understand how the plant works. Okay, and if there's a exam question that looks like this, now you should be confident in answering. Okay, so with that, I shall end this.